Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode on the Corner Flag YouTube channel. So, as you guys know, we're here to do transfers once again, and I'm not alone this time. I have Virgil in the studio here again with me. Virgil, how you good?
I'm good. It's very fitting. I just thought about it. It's very fitting that the kid that John Wayne is the kid that they wore when they lost to Forest. That won us the league, and it's just the iconic kid that we have just been playing amazing in. I just thought about it.
Thanks. I really appreciate that, though. Like, more than you know. Okay, guys, so we're back, and as you guys know, this is transfer season. So I'm going to run through the scale again for you guys. And then after that, me and Virgil are going to go through them. I'm going to do one, he's going to do one. We'll give our thoughts, and you guys know how this goes. So, red, yellow/orange, and green, because I've used them interchangeably. Red means that we really like it. Yellow/orange means we're kind of in between, and green is something that we fully support. We're going to use these things to judge across three different criteria. One being the fit, do we like it or not? Price, how we feel about the price, and criticality. Do we think this is a sign in our position that the club really needed to move forward? So, Doug, it is amazing how much better these things is flow when you have somebody else in the studio, though, because they wouldn't know, but I know how many takes I did last week of that one thing, Either way, let's get straight into it, guys. So, confirm moves. Let me start with the bigger clubs. Biggest club in the world, Real Madrid. Güler, the Turkish wonder kid, has just moved to Real Madrid. They paid 30 million. They paid about 10 million over the release clause. I think it was for more favorable pay terms. And he has signed for the Galacticos. It has annoyed me because he has signed and wearing the number 24 when he could have given 23, which was our Ozil number before he went to 10.
Okay, yeah, true.
And yeah, so long and short, I really like it because I really like the player. You guys will know by now, long-time viewers of the channel, how I feel about Mesut Ozil. So for me to say what I'm about to say, do not take it lightly. He is the closest thing that we'll ever see to a region of Mesut Ozil. He has playmaking extraordinary, the same dribbling, tenacity to him, the intensity to his game to create for others. And even in the goal scoring department, I think he probably outs Ozil a little bit in his eye for goal. I think he's a player to be extraordinarily excited about every single team that he's been linked to so far. If I knew a fan of that club, I would have messaged him and said this is a big, big move and somebody you should look out for. So, without further ado, in terms of the rating scale, I really, really like the price because I think that it is really underplayed how good this guy is. Give that a green. In terms of a fit, I'll give it a yellow. And the reason being is that he's an attacking midfielder by trade, could also play on the right wing. And Real Madrid has not played with a nominal attacking midfielder for a very long time. However, it has been a long time since they had somebody they could depend on to start as a right winger who is naturally left-footed. And I think that could be a bit of a balance. However, that's something that's purely theoretical at this point in time. And I'm not sure if Carlo Ancelotti would implement it. However, I really would like to see a midfield of Jude Bellingham, one of Crusoe Tchouameni, or Camavinga Tchouameni at the base, Modric and Jude to alternate. And you have Güler playing as your right winger. And then you have Vinicius/Rodrigo, where Rodrigo gets to play more in his natural position on the left wing. And from there, I can see it being a really good fit going forward. There's a criticality. I would give it as a yellow, orange, but more to the lower end. I don't necessarily think it was someone that's critical. And again, it's a position that where I could see him play, some could deem that a shoehorning. Not too sure if he would play there. However, it is one of the talents of the world. And when it comes to Real Madrid, over these last few years, whether it was Endrick, it was Rodrigo, it was Vinicius, it was Jude Bellingham, they don't mess. They just go and get those players. So that being said, yeah, that's my piece. Virgil, what's your thoughts on the move?
Honestly, for this player, I didn't really know much about him before the move, but from stuff that you checked out from your little personal research. From what you mentioned there with him playing on the right being a left footer, I feel like with Madrid losing out on Benzema, that's going to be a huge loss for goals for Madrid. But the way that they're going about it and bringing in these players, you have these young, energetic, attacking players, and you could have someone like this, as you mentioned, on the right with the left foot. We know how dangerous Vinicius is being on the other side. Whoever is in the middle, I feel like from that entire front three, regardless of how things do, you want goals across the front three because you know there's no Benzema magic that you can rely on anymore. You need it to come from everybody, and obviously it'll be a little much to rely solely on Vinicius. So bringing in these young players now to be around Vinicius and allow Vinicius to get a little spotlight, but also you have these good backups behind him. I feel like Madrid really is doing something, and it really is something that you could see they're pushing for years to come. Because don't get me wrong, even if it doesn't happen, it doesn't work this season, it's something you can't count out, because these type of players Madrid have, they may not be the dominant Galactico Madrid everybody known them to be, but they're going to be dangerous for sure. And I feel like that sign is a wonderful piece to that puzzle.
Yeah, cool. Moving on, Kim Min-jae. We expect his release clause to be triggered very soon and be announced as a Bayern Munich player. Hence, it falls in the confirm. What's your thoughts, Virgil, using the scale? How you feel about Kim Min-jae to Bayern Munich?
Yeah, and so looking at him we know a season back at Napoli, he has been a big presence in defense.
Yep.
So
huge.
So for Bayern Munich to snatch him up, because we know there's also touts to Manchester United and the Prem. But for Bayern Munich, a team that really focuses on the defense, to have this player in the defense, I really feel is a good sign. It's a sign that they really snatched up quick. They saw the opportunity. They went for it. That's something I really feel Bayern is known for with the business, and we know they're losing some players to PSG. I really feel that's a good fit for them. So, but for price, his release clause was not anything crazy, and I feel like that is something that Bayern. These are the type of businesses that Bayern are known for. Getting this business quick over the line, and with the release clauses, sometimes we all may think that it's supposed to be quicker than it should be. But when it comes to Bayern and getting this business over the line, they're quick with it. So I really feel is a green for that. For the price, the fit, adding to that defense, I feel like Bayern and defenders is something that that always works, honestly. And to get that player, because for those who haven't seen him last year for Syria, he has been vital in that defense, and put him in a Bayern Munich defense. That is just making Bayern Munich way stronger in that defense. So I honestly feel the fit, I would give it green. For
priority.
For the priority. As I mentioned with Bayern Munich, we know how Bayern are, and there are other players. So for the defense that they already had, I don't necessarily think that was somebody that they had to push for, because even if they missed out on him, I'm pretty sure Bayern could have found other players really to fit there. Bayern could find either one or two players that are there to show up that defense and make the defense even stronger. It's not somebody that I felt that Bayern Munich needed, honestly. But the fact that they got him was a big opportunity, and it was something. It's good business, but it wasn't something that Bayern Munich really needs. So I really give it like a yellow, honestly.
Nice.
But at the end of the day, it's one of those signs that you can't really go wrong with. It's really something that was there, and they took advantage of it.
I totally agree with you. It was a good opportunity in the market, and it was somebody that, like Manchester United, for example, were looking heavily on, and they saw the opportunity, flex their muscle, got the player in. We have a history in football, everybody does, of players that we always say, I knew this guy from way back then. And for those who do know that he was playing for Fenerbahce before he signed for Napoli, and everybody's going to be like, who was watching Fenerbahce? And this is one time I could say that I was, because, again, being the Ozil fanboy, he was playing with Ozil at that time. And even then, I remember thinking, this guy was pretty solid. I would have liked to see him in the top 5 league. When he moved to Napoli, I was so enthusiastic to see it. Loved him then. And if we weren't so stuck in our right centre-back department, even more so now we signed Timber, I would have loved the signing. Love the player, and I think it's a great move. Moving on now, somebody that has been confirmed for a little while, but we did not talk about last week, and having a Milano fan here, I think is even more is more suited to talk about it. Now, it's Sandro Tonali leaving, Virgil. I gotta go back to you one time. Go ahead with the skill and everything. How you feel about the move?
So this is the Tonali to Newcastle.
Yeah,
it was something that for the price, honestly, from a Milan point of view,
you're happy.
I'm happy for the price, but. With Newcastle, this is the type of signs that they needed really to cement themselves and to go and get someone like this, because there was not much competition, but people do not understand that Tonali is a big signing, and he was attracting a lot of interest back in his days before he made the move to Milan. So for the price so we look at this from a Newcastle point of view. From that price, I would give it. See, I want to give it a yellow, but I also feel like it could go down to a red, because I don't necessarily feel that was somebody that they need to spend a lot of money on for that midfield.
I like
it is a big name side. I lean to red. I honestly lean to red. Because I don't feel that was somebody that they needed, because those are the type of figures you'll pay on a big marquee signing. Though Tonali is sure, but Tonali is not someone you could guarantee will commit to the Premier League for a long time. There's somebody that will come in and you may try to see if he could work in the system. For somebody that you're not 100% sure that could work in your system and in the Prem, to pay that price is not really the best investment, honestly. For the fit, Tonali is a player that I know for a fact he could have adapt to any midfield. In the Premier League is a physical league, and it doesn't matter what league he is in, he will adapt because he has that grit that could be in any league. He could take aside from a very side that it's a challenge to a title contender. He could show up at defense, and I'm sure that a fit for Newcastle and the Premier League, they need to see what the type of player they have, because Tonali is a big player. But for priority, going back to what I mentioned, for price, that's not somebody I honestly feel like Newcastle really need to sign, because we're looking at their midfield, and for that position, there were other players they could have probably taken the risk for way, way, way cheaper. And I really feel that Newcastle was really trying to make that marquee signing because they're really in the Champions League right now. They want to make a statement. They want to be among the big boys and spend that money. But I feel that money could have go somewhere else, honestly. And for the player, good player, but I don't really feel that's a priority for them to bring in Tonali, honestly.
I have nothing to add. We just hit everything on nail on the head. Next player that we have up here is the PSG. Actually had a few guys that they signed recently, and I'm actually gonna just group them because my sentiments amongst all of them relatively is the same. So they signed Ugarte, they signed Kang Lee Chan from Mallorca, actually, who is an attacking midfielder. For those who don't know, had 12 goals and assists last year for the Spanish outfit. And they also signed Lucas Hernandez from PSG. Now, Lucas aside, I do like Kang and Ugarte. I think that's better scouting, and I do think that is fitting to where PSG should be trying to do. They've always tried to skip the first process, and now it's time to really lay some good foundation, as well as they signed Skriniar as a free from Inter Milan. Now they've bringing in two players in Theo and Skriniar to play in the back line there. Theo, who could also, sorry, not Theo, Lucas, my bad. Lucas, who could also be left back as well, who've had experience and has won things out there. Skriniar has won the Serie A. Lucas has won a World Cup as well as winning the domestic league like a bazillion times. My concern is what always it has been with PSG is players' level of commitment to the project, what the project really is. I do like the signing of Luis Enrique as well as a coach. And so that part is what always makes these moves hard to read. However, what I do like the Lucas signing for more than the rest is that something that I have implored PSG to do time and time again is sign French players and sign domestic players. Now, none of these is domestic, and Lucas has not played in Ligue 1, I don't think, ever. I actually think that he came through the Madrid Academy, as in Real Madrid. No, Atletico Madrid, sorry. Yeah, but there's still sometimes a familiarity to the culture given that he's a French international. And I think that's part of the reason that players struggle to really identify with PSG, because there is nobody to really embrace the culture that is set in at the club. With all these foreigners or players that don't really feel at home to what is Paris Saint-Germain as a club. So for that side in itself, I like every facet of it. I do like the sneakiness that is around the Kang Lee Chan signing. I do like Ugarte as well. Is somebody that both Chelsea and Liverpool were interested in, and it is a position that I think that they have struggled to really fit in for a while in terms of somebody who is really energetic and defensively sound and can really release the other players that have in midfield like Verratti, like Vitinha and stuff like that. And Kang Lee Chan is a real wild card signing, but for the price, for his performances despite only 12 goals and assists in the league, and for the potential that he can have, especially given the World Cup as well, I think is good signings all around. As Skriniar is massive, dog. Like he's huge. It also feels like they are proofing themselves against injuries as well. That if Marquinhos is injured or if Kimpembe is injured, you're now looking at Lucas and Skriniar being the backups compared to being Ramos and that is it from before. So that's my thoughts.
PSG has always been a team that has made these signings that made you wonder, okay, these might be the type of signings that might help them push a little in Europe. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I feel PSG. That's something that hasn't been new. We have all been saying that. Honestly, the only thing that is really turning my head to PSG's business, and I feel like the best sign they made is the manager. I really feel bringing him in because we've been talking about the mentality, and it starts there. And I feel like him coming in and want to prove a point because he knows that he is not just there to add another trophy to on his belt. He will try his best to push this team in Champions League, and I feel like that's somewhere where they should start. So he has the players. The players not something that really turned in my head, honestly, but the manager, and I feel like the mentality he has.
And if there's one thing with Luis Enrique is that, given how what's he looking for, committed that he is to his brand of football, there's a culture that follows with that. Yeah. And so if he is given the license and the time to actually implement that Mbappe or not, then that's a good time for PSG going forward.
Yeah.
So, we have three more players actually that we want to talk about before we go into the rumors. And the next two is AC Milan players. Loftus-Cheek, both of them came from Chelsea, is Loftus-Cheek and Christian Pulisic signing for AC Milan. I don't know why I was losing my words there. Both of them happening for just under 20 million. I think Loftus was 16 and Pulisic rising to about 20, something like that. And it's signings that I like. However, I like it in theory.
Yes.
Because I love the players. I genuinely like both of them. I actually love Pulisic more than people actually know when they stay fit. And that is my concern for AC Milan. Like, you give me a Pulisic to stay fit whole season, I am putting them in the conversation to win the league. Like, no joke, I genuinely am. Yep. Because I could see a future where he either plays right wing whole season or is put out the left wing and Leao becomes a striker, or even plays behind the striker, stuff like that. Fully fit Pulisic is genuinely one of the best players that it has out there. If you can depend on him, is the next thing. And Loftus is the same. We haven't seen Loftus play consistently as a midfield eight in a while. And you would assume that he's coming in really to replace Brahim Diaz as he's going back to Real Madrid. Yeah. So how you would feel about that is more based on how they are fit. So therefore, how I would rate this is, it is a fit. I can see a great fit for both. There has been rumored for a little while now that there might be thoughts of Leao being a centre forward in the long term. Then even more so Pulisic makes sense. As well as there's the rumor sign about Chukwuemeka and Romero to come in as right wing options for AC Milan. So they can have more balanced attack going forward for Pioli's men. Loftus, I love it. I think that if you've watched the Serie A over the last few seasons, that you see these attacking eights who are really good dribblers, really shine in the league. And that's part of the reason why, despite him not being a midfielder winger, Kvaratskhelia has taken that league by storm because of how elite he is at it. In terms of price, I think what price is fair. Yet, I still would give it yellow because of there's a very real scenario that you pay that 20 million for Pulisic and he doesn't play whole season. Like, that's the sad reality of the American international. And in terms of criticality, I think I will give the green criticality to Loftus because you lost Brahim Diaz. And I'll give yellow to Pulisic because we're still not sure how he fits into the first 11 yet. Thoughts?
Milan has been linked with a lot of players. Looking at the midfield and forwards, they have been linked with Dominguez from Bologna. They have also been linked with Zaniolo, who wants to make a return back to Syria. But I honestly get what you're saying, because these signings now, it seems that Milan really just trying to give players like a second chance. They've been doing that for seasons with Bakayoko. People surely didn't realize he's still there, but Milan been giving him that chance. And I feel like that's something they are doing with Loftus-Cheek and Pulisic. And as I said, on theory, I would just think about Giroud. And Giroud has two players now he's familiar with. He has Leao and he has Pulisic, who he is familiar with, providing for him. That looks good. But, the injury records for these two is very disheartening, honestly. And I really feel if they could stay fit for the entire season, it's good. But you don't really want to spend doesn't matter the amount. You don't want to spend money to bring in any player when all they're really going to do is be on the bench or be on the sidelines for majority of the season and come on and score 2 against Spezia, because that's not really going to push to help you in the league. You're really bringing these players in for your entire season league, and they need to be a serious Champions League side. So Pulisic, for honesty for both, I really feel I'm on the fence for them. I really feel that I'll give it a yellow for honesty for both.
Cool. Last player is gonna be Xhaka, which is I had to take that one. Oh boy.
Yeah, you have to.
Honestly, it made me really sad because I do think that even beyond on field, I think that he is someone that we need for the dressing room, and I not sure if we're ready to move on without him. Just purely from he was a larger life character amongst the club. It's somebody that I have been on record, and I will continue to say this, that I think that he is now the second best midfielder in the Bundesliga, and the only person above him is Leon Goretzka, because I don't rate Joshua Kimmich, and anybody could come for me. I really don't care. He is somebody who is a right back and has been trying very hard to be a midfielder for the longest while. And he has zero patience and positional sense in his game. And for somebody who's a big 28-year-old man, I feel like you should be doing better with your life, dog.
Well, Kimmich come and play right back at the Etihad, I for anything, You could come and play right back at the Etihad.
But I do think that Xhaka is somebody who has, at this time, and also suffered from reputational-based refereeing. Because I've seen players, Romero, suffer given way worse challenges and not given red cards than what Xhaka has been doing. I also think that Xhaka, despite this being the first season that he's managed so much goals and assists, I think he had the same amount or more than Bruno Fernandes this season. He has been playing at this level of performance despite in other roles since Arteta's been here. And I really mean that. He has been consistently good. He has been Mr. 7 out of 10 every single game. Even considering those one red cards. And just out there for people, right? You know that he's never been given a red card as in yellow and yellow, That has never ever happened. It has been just straight reds.
No VAR check, just straight red.
Yeah, and again, I really do think that he's suffered from reputational based refereeing. However, I'm gonna miss him. I am deadly serious. I'm planning to go to Germany next year just to see him, and he is probably my second favorite Arsenal player of all time. Favorite, not best, obviously, but favorite, just because of the character arc of everything he brought, of the joy that he's brought me for the yearly screamers against Man United, for the big game performances. I'm gonna miss him. He has been huge, and I'm gonna miss him. And I really wish we could have given him a trophy to leave on because he deserved that. However, he's going by Leverkusen, and I am not by Leverkusen's biggest fan of trader at the Vigo. So that being said, I think for the price, I still have a deal because there's way too cheap for Xhaka. I'll give it. There's actually the third most expensive transfer in the history. Actually, is Granit Xhaka at £25. I think it will out to be about 22 million euros. Price, I think that's a green. Honestly, I do think so, especially when you consider that I substantially think he's a way better player than Kovacic, and he went for 30 million. So, yeah, I don't care. On God.
Hey, but we
Kill me then.
This is just hot takes, boy.
I will never, ever choose Kovacic over Xhaka any day.
Never Real Madrid Kovacic?
No, I think it's a Kovacic though.
Yeah, Inter Kovacic was a...
That makes sense, right?
Yeah, but
No,
that's far. That's
Kovacic.
far. Yeah, that's far from in the past, boy.
That's my point, though.
Honestly, Inter Kovacic was a
baller,
monster, boy.
dog.
I used to hate the Inter team so bad.
Yeah. So I'll give it a price for the fit. I think is actually great. There's a view of him becoming a coach in the future, and I think that's really why he wants to go there as well. Given that, and working with Xabi Alonso, who I think is a great up-and-coming coach as well. I think it's a great fit for them to add maturity actually to a very young team with Hozek, with Diaby, with Wirtz as well. It's a really young team and gonna add some maturity to that as well. Criticality, I also think that was very important as well. So green across the board. Thoughts, Jill?
All I say for the record, John is going to go in his room tonight and have the fan on high and watch Xhaka videos from Arsenal and just cry himself to sleep.
I've done that.
That's Xhaka's boy. I know John is going to miss him a lot.
Appreciate that. Okay, guys, we'll be back with rumors. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. Okay, guys, welcome back. So what I didn't do last week, but we'll do from this week and going forward, is we're going to have our rating scale different from the transfers for rumors. 1 to 10, very simple. How likely you think this move is to happen? So, without further ado, Andre Onana, it looks very highly likely that he's going to go Manchester United. Virgil, What do you think about the move first, very briefly, and how likely you think it's about?
You know, it's going to be very difficult to replace De Gea, honestly. Onana has shown in previous season that he is a up and coming keeper. Am I really convinced by him? No, because it's very different in the Prem. He seems like that type of Mendy type of signing that would just come in, have a good season, and kind of like really just fade away. But the likelihood of it happening, it seems like it's going to be nailed on by next week for sure. We'll get that here we go from Fabrizio, and we'll be seeing him in a Manchester United kid next season for sure.
Yeah, I also kind of have it at 9 out of 10. It feels more inevitable than anything else. Cavani to Manchester City, Virgil. Thoughts?
This is one that it seems that Man City are known for having these prolonged sagas. I feel like for Gvardiol, he's someone that he literally says he's waiting there. He has a suitcase packed. He's literally honestly waiting for talks to progress. But City right now seems to be stolen right now. I've been through this in the past with players like Koulibaly, Jorginho. We could go back to a lot of players. But so for this, I honestly gotta give it like a 6, honestly.
6.
Because City are not shy when dealing with stubborn balls to just turn away and go and find another option. So I cannot put my head on and say this is something that will be nailed on.
Yeah, I probably feel a little bit stronger, but again, like you said, this is something that we've seen before with City Pass with Jorginho, with Koulibaly, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I'll go 6.5 for Cavani to Manchester City. Mm-hmm. Probably more 7 actually, because the truth is, if he is to leave, I can't see them going anywhere else. Yeah. So yeah, Tonali to England. It has been rumored. We're gonna talk about him and Valverde that both players are rumored to be on the chopping block as they try to make space for Kylian Mbappe. Mm-hmm. So. How likely do you think it is for either one of these players to move?
Honestly, for Valverde, I feel like it's very likely for him to move. Yeah, I could see him rather than Tchouaméni. I don't feel like anybody in England, honestly, would appreciate the type of player he is, and he would not be a good fit. I feel if he's to move, he's going to move to the wrong club, honestly. But Valverde, I feel that move to the Prem, I type of player he is, and we saw it in the World Cup on just his entire Madrid career. No matter where he goes in the Prem, he is going to be a big presence in that midfield. So I feel like him, I really feel like likely I could give it an 8. I'll give it 8. But for both players, I'll give it an 8, honestly. But just for, as I said, for Tchouaméni, I feel like if he is to leave, I really cannot see where he will go, honestly.
I think it's harder for me to see Tchouaméni leaving because he's the only nominal 6 in their whole team, and he only signed last year. And Flo Perez is someone that typically want to see returns from players before totally giving up. Whereas Valverde, I think he is, for all the talent that he's had, he has struggled to settle a position in his whole time there, whether it be as a midfielder, right wing, or something like that. And he might be seen as a valuable asset to move on. So with him, I think it's more suitors again than anything else with Valverde that I'm not sure who would be willing to take the punt on him. I would go 7 for him, and if they had to force out one with you, I think they more force out Valverde. Yeah. So I'll go 7 for Valverde and a 5 for Tchouaméni. Yeah. So party to Juventus.
Ooh, what? Yeah, but Juventus.
I would just like to say I hope this is 10 out of 10. I think Partey is a phenomenal player, but
how things change with Partey like this?
Because I think he's a phenomenal player, but for all your off-field issues, everything that on-field doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. That's true. And I feel like I don't know.
My issue is I have zero hope in Juventus paying. Like what Juve gonna come and offer? They gotta be like, 2-year loan.
2-year
option to buy.
Juventus love that. Juventus love that 2-year loan.
Dog.
Nah, I feel like if somebody like Partey, I could see him, run into a league like Syria, somewhere where he's still in the mix, still in little competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I really do not know much about that. And as I said, you're calling a team that's not really known to do good business, honestly.
Yep, at all.
I feel like I get a 5, but I'm really not too sure about how that's going to play out, honestly.
Yeah, I probably have it as a 5 as well, just because I don't think they'll pay, and it's rumored that Partey kind of digging in his heels. He don't want to go anyway. 2 more. 1 more, actually. 2 more, sorry, that we have here. Mbappe to leave. How likely do you think is Mbappe to actually leave?
This Mbappe's saga has been back and forth for seasons. He is going to leave, I'll be honest. We know for a fact he has expressed his issues with PSG and whatnot. I feel like this relationship with PSG and Mbappe is a love-hate relationship. And we hear rumors that behind the scenes he's probably already agreed to move next season for free to Madrid. we know for a fact it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So, yeah, I feel like that's going to be likely. But, things are not set in stone. Those two parties can be a little shaky. So, that's why I still have to give it like an 8.
Oof. I'm more at 5. And the reason being is not that I don't think any move might eventually happen. Although, reports came out Friday that if Mbappe is to go anywhere in the Prem, come by dogs. And this is a testament that I want to everybody, right? Miguel Laney. This is a testament to everybody, though. I want people to understand, though. Heritage don't die. When you're good, man, want to come there. And look, this is like not anything against like United or anything, right? Because I want people to understand what I'm going to say. When it comes to French players and the Prem, that is our bread and butter. That's right. This is not us going and try to pull some Portuguese player against United. They will get him. Yeah. Like, there is certain countries that heritage is set in. That is like trying to get a Brazilian off of Chelsea. You don't get those. Right. That being said, the reason it's 5 is because I think that he has said that he doesn't want to leave. He is digging his heels that he doesn't want to leave. At the end of the day, he has more power over this than PSG. As well as, I'm not sure if Real Madrid would be able to raise enough funds to buy him. I think it might actually come down to them selling both. Like, too many have already, like 2 players. I'm not sure if that is worth it. Also, I would just like to say I'm on record for saying that I don't think Mbappe to Real Madrid makes sense for anybody involved because he's the best off the left. And you have literally one of the best players in the world there.
It really doesn't, honestly.
Also, the reason that I don't think Ole will ever be in for Mbappe is because Ole have Haaland. And I know Mbappe. Sorry, I don't know him. I should know him. He should call me. But his mentality is, dog, he's against Haaland. And if he go there, he'll be a psychic. Even if he's better than him, he'll always be the one that come after.
Very true.
Last player, Colwill, to go Liverpool. How likely do you feel it is happen?
Well, Liverpool. These signs for Liverpool, I feel like these signs are kind of like on the radar for Liverpool. Not really much issues. I feel like with Liverpool this season, they will be getting transfers along over the line. So no matter who, I feel like it might take some time, might not be that quick, but I feel like it would happen. I really feel so.
I actually kind of think it will happen too. I think it's one that might take a little while, but I think it will happen. Yeah. I think it's somebody that Klopp has been very open about that. What the part of everybody has been forgetting this whole saga is that Colwill has just been busy this whole time. We are recording saying that England has won the under-21 Euros, and they have had no say in their transfer move so far. He's not the only one. Somebody I have created a rumor for that I would like to see is actually Morgan Gibb White to go to Newcastle United. I think that'll be a brilliant move for everybody involved. But I think that's what Colwill that people forget. He just hasn't had a chance. Like, guys, could I sit down and think? I've been playing whole season. I went to championship, whatever. Likely, I think it's about 7 as 8 as well, because also there's players above him in the pecking order. And if I was him, I would watch Chelsea and be like, you finished below Brighton last year, and Brighton decided to play me, whereas you decided to go and buy 2 men over me. Yep. So what does that really say? That's it for this week, guys. That was real fun, actually, boy. That was real fun. We'll be back next week, as always, guys. So please like, follow, share, subscribe, do everything. And catch you guys next time. See you soon. Take it easy. Later.